it's Erica. Welcome back to Maniacal Reader. Today I am doing a book talk on Cress by Marissa Meyer. This is the third book in her Lunar Chronicles series, and this is a YA high fantasy series. Cress is loosely based off of the story of Rapunzel. At the start of the book, we realize that Cress has been trapped in a tower for many years, and she doesn't really have much to do with herself, except play chess against a computer version of her younger self, whom she calls Little Cress. So right away we learn that Cress has been working for Queen Levana on Luna. Since Cress has learned of all these news coverages of Queen Levana's attacks, she's resolved to help Cinder and the rest of the other characters. She looks up information about all of them before she tries to contact them. And Cress and the gang do come into contact. The gang agrees to help save her and get her out of that tower, and Thorn agreed to help save her, so she gives them the coordinates of where she is. Since I am talking about the third book in this series, there's definitely going to be spoilers, so if you haven't read this book, I suggest you read the book, and then come back and watch this video if you want to hear my thoughts on it. Early on in the book, there's an event that happens in the book that affects all of the other elements of the story. Sybil eventually attacks the spaceship because she's determined to keep Cress and not let Cress go with them. During this big attack, Cress and Captain Thorn are separated from the rest of the gang, and they have no choice but to spend time in the desert trying to survive. We also know that Wolf was shot and Scarlet was taken. I liked the time that Cress and Captain Thorn spend in the desert together. A good friendship develops between them from the beginning of the book. Ever since Cress read about Captain Thorn's background, she develops a huge crush on him. But Captain Thorn doesn't quite feel the same way. When they're in the desert together, Cress shares that she's never had a real kiss or anything like that. And Captain Thorn makes her a promise that if they're going to die at some point in the future, he'll kiss her when the time is right. And I loved that he followed through with that promise. There was non-stop action. I was happy to see when the rest of the gang joined Dr. Erland in his lab, but I was even more surprised we discovered the connection that Dr. Erland and Cress were father and daughter. That took me by surprise. When Cress and Thorn are at a hotel, Captain Thorn mentions that he likes hearing Cress sing. He decides to go gambling down in a bar, and when Thorn decides to do that, Cress is taken. At that moment I figured, since Captain Thorn was so upset with what happened, I could guess that he did have true feelings for her, he just didn't want to admit them at that moment. In that scene with Captain Thorn trying to gamble with crooked people about the value of shells and all that, I didn't know what to make of that scene, and right then I thought that Captain Thorn shouldn't have left Cress in the hotel. Later on, when the gang is reunited and all back together, I got teary-eyed during the scene when Dr. Erland reveals that Cress is actually his daughter and says goodbye to her since he's put himself in quarantine. He's come down with a mutated version of lumatosis and he doesn't want to spread it to anyone. I'm also happy that Dr. Erland found a way to help Captain Thorn with his blindness since he was blinded during the big attack at the beginning of the book. I didn't like his comments towards Captain Thorn though about him not being good enough for his daughter and things like that. I didn't think that was appropriate. Since he hadn't been in Cress's life for years, I didn't think he had a right to comment on stuff like that. During this book I also found Kai's wedding preparations to be hilarious in this book, and it added a lighthearted element to an otherwise intense book, so I enjoyed seeing his storyline in this book. I also liked the scene where Cinder kidnapped him, and Kai didn't know what to make of that since he wasn't sure if he could trust Cinder or anything like that. And I liked Kai and Cinder's reconciliation after Kai woke up, and he took her cyborg hand into his and told her that he loved her. Such a good moment between them. It was so sweet. I also liked the fact that even though Kai has agreed to marry Levana, he gave thought to the Cyborg Protection Act. This act allows cyborgs to willingly volunteer to help with the antidote cure instead of just being forced into it. This shows that he still does value cyborgs, and I like that he's making his own decisions. I also like the fact that we got to learn a little bit about Princess Winter, since Princess Winter is keeping Scarlet as a pet on Luna. Winter talked in crazy rambling. So it sounds like readers can trust Winter, and that there may be a friendship between Winter and Scarlet. This little surprise about Winter and Scarlet did leave me high hopes for the finale. I really liked Cress though. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was non-stop action, and the plot was a step above the other two for sure. I also found that I liked Cress and Captain Thorn's relationship. I really think Captain Thorn is a charming character, and throughout this book he charmed me even more, so I really liked him throughout this book. Those are all of my thoughts on Cress. Comment down below and tell me what your thoughts on this book are. What were some of your favorite moments? I'd love to hear down below. I'll see you guys in my next video.